Hi there, beautiful souls, and welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It has been a glorious, glorious weekend. I got to spend some time outside, some simple breathing, and allowing myself to just be still, and connect, as well as enjoyment of the little things, enjoyment of what really matters. And I've really been trying to really put a lot of focus there. With enjoying what really matters, there are things that are in our control and things that are out of our control. And I've been really focusing on what else do I see, what else do I feel, what else do I know? And spending, as always, a lot of time with spirit. I spent a lot of time with spirit. Let's jump into the energy update today so that I can grab a couple questions because the last energy update I was not able to grab as many questions as I like to. I try to grab as many as I can. So this energy update for the week, simplicity, and we've talked about that on and off over the weeks. Um, Weeks past, infusing simplicity. We've got some of us are going to have to seek it, look for it, create it, and infuse it. Moments, as I always say, moments matter. You guys know moments matter. We do have a big, beautiful full moon in Leo. It's a snow moon, and it is definitely a snow moon here in Kitchener, Ontario, with the amount of snow and the cold. It's also Groundhog Day, so my prediction is more winter. I am convinced that little rodent's going to give us some news today of we're not done yet. Um, what's coming in with this full moon, stirring of a lot of emotions in Leo. I'm going to call it Leo drama. The emotions and relationships, we're going to feel that this week, in many different ways. Honesty is on the table. Honesty is on the table this week, being honest with ourselves, being honest with each other, being honest, in many different relationships. It's going to be loud this week with honesty. There's also some low rumbling. I could feel some low rumbling of energy changes that I think we're going to start to see near the end of this full moon energy that we're kind of floating in. Big endings I feel are coming for February. I'm going to just kind of give you a little bit of a what I picked up for February. I think February we're coming to see some big endings and new doors of opportunity opening. I also feel that both personal and on the world stage. I do feel like we've got some endings energy that is starting to rumble through in February. February also feels like a very fast-paced, energetic month. So hold on, buckle up. um, I know, right? I want to come back to emotions because I think sometimes we struggle with processing them or allowing them to flow. So giving yourself some time alone, to either journal, or connect, or talk with spirit, whatever resonates with you. Go release your emotions in any way that you can, and feel and allow them to move in and out. Bottling emotions is not always a great thing to do, but finding a way to express. And heart space is kind of how I go. This is how I feel. I need to acknowledge, and those kind of little things, and being able to speak our truth. And sometimes we're heard, and sometimes we're not heard, and that brings in a lot of the relationship stuff too. And I want to touch base a little bit on seeking validation. I really feel this week we're going to be seeking validation, and you can just remember you can always validate yourself. Yes, it's great to have support from other people, and yes, it's great to be held and acknowledged for other people. But sometimes, the pushes with ourselves is to be able to increase, or improve. I'll use the word improve, improving that relationship with ourselves, right? Even every version of you, we're always changing and growing. And I do feel that we've got some endings and some beginnings coming in for February. And what that looks like, I'm not quite sure yet. But I've really been kind of in the back of my mind and energy fields, making sure my awareness is on letting go, of wanting to control or hold on really tight to what might need to be leaving your journey at the moment. Sometimes things need to leave. And I think that February is going to bring in a little bit of that as well. And it's going to be interesting to see because we do have that fire horse energy coming in February, and I'm very excited to spend more time tapping into that in the upcoming days. The emotions and relationships, give yourself some space, give yourself some time to journal, give yourself some time to speak. There's also, with a Leo full moon, there is that creativity and authenticity. So are you looking for more? Are you craving deeper connection? Are you feeling that yet? I think I want deeper connection or different experiences, and we have to often create that. Um, Trust is big, being able to trust. There is a video on the YouTube channel about the bridge of trust, finding ways of trusting, finding ways, and sometimes it's trusting not just ourselves, but trusting spirits, but also trusting other people. And trust is a big one for so many of us. And so I feel that as we navigate through emotions and relationship stuff and those little things, other people, I always remind myself other people are going through things too. Other people are processing things too, and sometimes what we're experiencing energetically off other people is usually it's because they're processing and they're dealing with emotions, and they're navigating their navigation system is clicking in as well. So I always try to remember that with other people, they're going through stuff too. Right. All right. Hope you do find that helpful. I did some forest work yesterday. I went out and set up a little I'll use the word ritual. It's a few little stones and some bird seed, and connected, and just kind of reminded myself to allow more flow. I'm always allowing flow. So I did go out and do that last night, and I will head back to the forest probably tomorrow and just kind of feel the energy of what I left there, as well as my crystals that are charging. They're not charging in my backyard this full moon. They're charging out in the forest. So there we have it. There we have it. All right, let's jump into some questions. Let's have a little wee sip of tea, some nice peppermint tea this morning. Ah, there we go. All right, you guys, let's jump in here. It's good to see so many of you jumping. Good morning, you guys. Thank you for all the morning wishes. I'm so good to have you here. Let's start with Bianca. Morning. A romantic connection with a man named Ty ended. Felt very unbalanced and left me feeling down. Any messages on healing from that and attracting better? Bianca, here we go with the relationship stuff. Um, Bianca, so a few things, and we do send you big love, big love. I know that it's hard to look at what did I learn, and like everybody brings us a little something to learn. So what did we learn? And allowing that to be acknowledged and finding your balance again. Sometimes we are also the teachers in somebody else's journey, and that can be a hard one because being the teacher can often leave us with an emotional bruise, and sometimes, so sometimes we come into people's journey to teach them something. Now, whether or not this person, had that experience or feels that way, I don't know. But I think if you can work on letting go and connecting and wishing that person well. I hope they find their way and find alignment, and those little things, and also kind of reflecting on what I did know. Is this teaching your intuition a little bit of something, and being soft on your learning. Like we often can be really critical of ourselves. Why didn't I see it? Why didn't I listen? Well, all of that, work on putting that down. Work on putting that down, with a gentle, loving, what did I learn? What did that person learn? And allowing yourself to have that healing energy flow through. I always say, Bianca, what really resonates with you? What brings you that soft space of letting go? Spend some time there. Everybody's got their own way of resonating with things. So I always say, if music resonates with you, spend a little bit of extra time with that. I Again, with what I talked about with letting emotions flow, and you just did that here, sharing it with a safe group of people who are going to love you up. We're going to love you up. And being able to give yourself that time to process. The time to process is huge. I can't emphasize that enough. I hope that was a little bit of guidance there for you, Tabitha. Good morning. Oh, good morning, all. Okay, there we are. I thought you had a question under that. Ray, hey, 1414. Hello, everyone. It's been a tough week. We've got a sick dog in the family. Getting towards the Rainbow Bridge. Hopefully she'll recover, but she's 15 now. Ray, hey, I really feel that this pupper is preparing. And I feel this pupper is preparing you as well. And I feel like you're gonna get that deep knowing of when it's time. I feel like you're gonna, like the dog will tell you, and I feel like you're open to hear that, as hard as it is. We love these souls so much, and it's never an easy journey when they struggle with stuff. But I feel like you're gonna have that deep knowing. Either you'll hear it like a little bit of a voice, or a deep knowing in your heart space, eye to eye contact. Just watch for it and feel it, and just know that we're here supporting you with that as well. Mandy, good morning. Anything from spirit today? Mandy, I feel like my creative juices are starting to flow. I feel like my thoughts are starting to wander. I feel like I just feel like, what do I want to do next? I think I think the readiness for something new is coming into me in a way of like a slight craving. So and I just feel like I need to allow that. I need to allow some space. So, any kind of journaling or doodling or thoughts or just kind of letting those thoughts and creative juices flow. I feel like a shift there, Mandy. I do. I feel like there's a shift there with I can see you kind of like got your sleeves partially rolled up there to kind of like, I think I'm going to try. And whatever, whatever that is for you, that could be something very, very small. It can be something on a bigger scale. But I feel like you're just starting to come out of that. I can see you peeking your head out. I think it's time for something new. Laura, can you or Spirit tell me why my recent visit with my adult child did not go as well as I had anticipated? Overwhelmed. So I'm feeling some overwhelmed energy there with that adult child. And I just feel like I'm overwhelmed. I feel in a little bit of anxiety in my chest. I feel like there was a lot going on there that maybe hasn't been shared yet. And I just a couple little words that I would just kind of like whisper out either in a text or a phone is little things like always proud of you, like you're doing the best that you can. Those little things, so I don't feel terrible here, but I feel a little bit like, I don't wanna share exactly what's going on because I don't either number 1, I don't want you to worry. Number 2, I got it, and then number 3, I feel like, I'll use the word embarrassment just slightly there, just a little bit of a slight. I just feel like I need to hold space. Just hold space, and it comes back into what I, talked about with the Leo energy and other people with emotions and relationships. People are going through their own things too, and I just feel like that adult child is navigating a little bit of that in their own world. I don't feel terrible with it. I just feel like I'm navigating some stuff. Um, Cheryl, good morning, Lana. Are there any messages for me today? I feel like I need to whisper in your ear. You are doing enough to help. I feel like your helpful energy is right there on your sleeve. I feel, and sometimes you may think, "Am I doing enough? What can I do?" I don't feel like that helpless space, but I feel like I just need to remind you you are a really good friend and a really good supporter, and you just needed to kind of like have a gentle reminder of that. If it doesn't resonate in this red hot moment, give it a little bit of time and just remember that you're doing enough. What's happening here? Lana Banana, there's Fran. Uh, all is good here, my friend. Ember Moon 44. What do you see regarding my small business? I just kind of got, I just got like, what do you call when your mouth salivates or something? My mouth was like, when like, you just got that, ooh, something delicious is about to come. I feel like there's some shifting going on there. I feel like there's something new or something's kind of pivoting a little bit. And I feel like my mouth is watering. Like I'm ready for, when you've been like craving something for a long time and then you can smell it. That's what that feels like there for me there. Small business right now, I think no matter where you're living in the world, it is a bit of a push. It's a bit of a hang on tight, white knuckling it. But I just feel like there's a deliciousness there that's just you know. And when my mouth is watering, it's got to be close. There's something shifting there because it's almost like, when you're hungry, like I said, you're hungry and you can smell it coming. That's how that feels there for me. So I'm also curious, Ember, if you have been kind of percolating or creating something in the background. I feel like it's something in the background. Should I? Shouldn't I? I feel like I've got to say, sometimes it feels like we're throwing spaghetti at the wall and something sticks. That's kind of how it feels there to me. A lot of food reference there around you, Ember Moon. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Zayninsky. Hi, Lan. I'm about to embark on a new business venture. What does my spirit guides want me to know? Um, Fast and Furious. You know that movie Fast and Furious? I just got like that car going by from the Fast and the Furious. I feel like and I'm also curious, have you been percolating on this for a bit? So I feel like it's been marinating is kind of how it feels. I feel like I've been marinating in it. I feel like all businesses, you're gonna have your moments that are smooth sailing and other moments where you're turbulent. But I feel like you've been pulled pulled this way, Zaninski, for a little bit. I just feel it. I feel like I've been pulled in there. Like it's been a pull. I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. Always, make sure that you do the business part of it. I'm sure, you have with business plan and talking to people and doing your research. That is always, a good thing to do as well. But I just feel like I've been flipping, flopping, and marinating in this for a bit. Olivia, good morning. Emotions were huge at my house this morning. Emotions. Um, Olivia, so I feel like, as the day goes on, the emotions that were high in the house, will not be fully processed by the end of the day. Like I'm seeing, like, around supper time, I feel like I just want to take some time and see who's processed those emotions. Sometimes, what's the word that I'm looking for? Sometimes we don't, not that we don't process them fully or take a look at why we were feeling that way. And I just think a little bit of time, this evening or supper hour, where it's just like free talk on how we are now, like a check-in. Right. So, and sometimes we can step out of, and this is how I'm seeing it. We can disconnect with how we felt and not go back into it to kind of say, like that self check-in. Am I good with the how that? Am I good with that? Did I process that? And did the emotions kind of all get expressed? If you can just kind of like poke your head in there a little bit and just kind of, ask yourself, how that self check-in with, you felt this way today, and I'm just making sure that you were able to express it fully. Mimi, any messages from my spirit guides today? I feel like I need to. This is kind of funny. I feel like, that song "Walk Like an Egyptian." I feel like I need to kind of like have the Egyptian energy is can be quite goddess too, right? Quite mystical, quite goddess. I feel like I need to kind of like play in that, frolic in that a little bit. I feel like I need to have that space or energy or anything. I don't know why there's an Egyptian reference so loud here with you. So I feel like if you can kind of give yourself some time to feel into that, and always ask and listen for messages as well. But I just feel like it's kind of interesting on how I'm feeling that with you. um Ray Hay 14. Okay, this really tracks with my previous message. I'll mentally prepare. um, yeah, and right here, I would also ask for, a little bit. You can never get enough grounding energy, as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of grounding, a little bit of allowing, a little bit of flow energy. All of that stuff is huge. Shirley, hi, dear Lana. I would be most appreciative if I got a message from my dear husband. Thank you, Shirley. Um, he literally got you to stand up straight in this glamour, and standing up straight is a lot of proud energy. I think that you've done really well. I feel like I'm really proud, but he's asking you to see it for yourself, like to feel it for yourself. I just literally had to fix my posture and like adjust my crown. I know, I just feel like I need he's feeling that for yourself. I also feel like you know 100% that he's always with you. I don't feel like I need to remind you of that. I feel like, yes, it's harder. Has harder moments, but I feel like you can feel that. And he needs to say that I'm definitely always right beside you. But this proud, he's giving it to you. So I'm just curious, Shirley, you don't have to answer here in the chat, but I'm just curious if you've been feeling like I'm not doing well enough, or I haven't done that great, or like that hard on yourself kind of energy, because he's showing me the opposite. You're doing very well, and stand up straight and be proud. Mila Cheer 101. Hi Lana. Do my spirit guides have any messages? Do you feel like I will get my layout soon? I'm in tumbling. I've been working on round off um handspring tucks for years, and I'm wondering if I will get my layout. I feel like this is more of a confidence versus skill. I feel, Mila Cheer, that you if I could get you to lean into more feeling more confident, because I feel like you have the skill. It's the confident piece. I feel like your body knows what to do, and I feel like your brain knows how to get there. I feel like it's more of that inner light, and I feel like I'm really hard on myself whenever, like almost all the time. Like I feel like a part of you is really hard on yourself all the time. There's also pinch, Mila, of people pleasing and all this. Work on that inner self. Work on that confidence. Work on you're doing great and you're training hard and feel the confidence. Feel oh, I like this. Feel the spiritual inner cheerleader and cheer for yourself. Cheer for yourself, even if the tumble doesn't go great, and even if cheer for yourself. Cheer for yourself for showing up at every practice. Cheer for yourself for, I really feel like I need that self-acknowledgement and cheerleader from within. Mandy, I said to someone about honesty, trust is huge right now. Just yesterday, starting writing again. There you go. About things I need to release. Absolutely, Mandy. And I just want to say release is a constant process. Our brain remembers, and even when we release stuff, something can come floating back in. Put your hand up if that happens, right? We can have things float back in. I personally feel that releasing is something that if you can carve out a moment a day to simply, and it can be this simple. I think I'm gonna grab something here. I'm gonna grab a shell. I have a shell necklace here. I'm just gonna visualize this shell as something that I need to release, and I keep having to release it, but it's okay. I'm gonna put it down again. I'm gonna put it down again. Did the best I could. Really kind of allowing that ongoing releasing. Releasing is ongoing. Mandy, I also feel um with that trust piece. I feel like I need to remind you, and I know I said it already in this segment today, is sometimes we are the teachers in other people's lessons, or sometimes we're just bearing witness to their struggle. And if other people are having honesty trouble issues, that is something that they're working on, and they may or may not ever get it. And we can't always fix it. I guess if that's one thing that I want to say, start trusting the little things, start trusting yourself, start trusting the universe, rebuilding that, and it will start to trickle back into other relationships. Tabitha, hi Lana, is there anything that my guides want me to focus on this year? Health, home, relationships, etc. What do I need to work on the most? Thank you. Tabitha, I got the Uno card back to you. So I really feel that your intuition, so here we go, your intuition is so strong. And I really feel that you hold the answer to all that. If I was to add one thing, I would add allowing yourself to hold space and grow, allowing yourself to be able to let go. I feel like there's more of an allowing, working on being able to poke your head out of resistance a little bit, and really coming home to your heart space and asking what you want this year. Or what, and even if you can narrow it down with, taking a smaller bite. I feel like I can take a smaller bite. What do I feel? I'm asking you this question, Tabitha. Close your eyes if you wish, or just kind of listen. What do you feel that today? What do you feel you need the most today? We've got a whole year to figure out our crap, and we may not get it all figured out because we're always working on something. Go, Tabitha, to what you feel most pulled in. I personally, I also feel like adding a little bit of calmness, being able to, watch the clouds float by for a moment, or see if you can count the stars when the sky is bright with them. I feel like I got to chip that down a little bit to what do I want to work on today? Moments matter, and I feel like I've got to kind of like ask you to kind of feel into that all on your own. I'm happy to give you guidance and advice like I just did, but I really feel that it's smaller bites. Maybe that's the smaller bites and feeling that energy. Anna Pontillo, good morning, Lana. I've been working on releasing cycles. I love that for you. That feel like I've been holding on to for lifetimes. Finally choosing me. It's hard, but I'm working on it. Oh, what a delicious way you worded that, Anna. I love that, and I think that um that last part, that it's hard, but I'm working on it. Make that your mantra a little bit. I'm working on it, and celebrate that. Releasing isn't, like I said, and I say it all the time, probably once a week here. I say it. Releasing is a process, and it's a constant process. We're always learning to release. Does it get easier to release? Yep. We still have moments where we wobble in the hard stuff? Yep. Do we often release grinding our teeth? Absolutely. Right? So, absolutely. But I am so proud of you for how you worded that. I think that's delicious. Laura, great update. Optimistic for February. Thank you. Yeah, February is going to be interesting. In many different levels. I really feel February feels interesting. I'm looking forward to tapping into it a bit more. Um, Donna, just an update. You were right again, Lana. Spirit was right. I'm just a messenger. Spirit was right. I always ask you about my daughter, and you were always spot on with the guidance you give. She's pregnant. Last time you said you see an announcement. I am so excited for her and for you. Um, yeah, and spirit. Is profound in many, many ways, and we are impatient in many, many ways. And time here in the physical world can be, I'm sure you asked many times, when am I going to hear it? Why is this happening? Timing is always something that we struggle with. Very excited, sending you and her big congratulations. Zainensky at Bianca was just thinking of you because of what Lana was saying about allowing emotions. Look at you guys supporting one another. That's so incredible. I think my word for this week, and I know I use it often, but I just can't stop with the word delicious. Um, Photosaurus, good morning, and thank you for reminding us that what truly matters mostly being real, honest, and kind, but more important, yourself. Absolutely. We have to look after ourselves, and we know all of this. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you got to put your own oxygen mask on first. We know all these things. Oh, and that's Dee Dee West. Thanks for letting me know that was Dee Dee. Um, I know we know all these things, but putting it into practice is sometimes easier said than done. But I think if we always have that working on it, from that lovely I'm working on it energy, it brings us back into that. Bianca, thank you, Lana. Yeah, my intuition predicted some. Whoops, I keep getting these notifications popping up. My intuition predicted some of this. Haha, learning to trust more and more. Yep, learning to trust. And we're all learning to trust. Like, there are still moments where I'll be in a session, spirit will say something, and I'll kind of do one of these. Are you sure? Right? So are you sure we're going there? And it's like, yeah, okay. But it's no it's normal. And I think and sometimes when we ask again, sometimes we just need to hear it again, or sometimes we need to feel it again, and it's okay, right? It's okay. I say this all the time. We don't hit our head on the ceiling of maximum trust. Yeah, okay, Ray, hey, yeah, I thought so. You said the word bridge and the big happening in February. I'll mentally prepare. Uh, yeah, the trust bridge. The trust bridge is huge. Um, I think it'll be later in February, but time can always be a little bit of a thing. But I feel like things are going to be shaken up big time in February. I think there's going to be like this shake up where peace new things to fall into place, and new beginnings are coming. And hi Lana and everyone. My sister really needs all your prayers. She is such a spiritual person, but something has been off with her lately, and I cannot figure out how to help her lately. And I cannot figure how. Oh, sorry, I cannot figure out how to help her. Please help us. All right, Amanda, let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment, and this can be for anybody who needs a little bit of help and some prayers. But let's just all think about the sister energy. Let's just all think about Amanda's sister energy. Just feel that sisterhood. And let's just bring our awareness to our hearts, and again to anybody who wants to be open up to receive some love and light and some prayers. I feel like we need to send some support, some healing, and some guidance. And I also feel like I need to send some pillars, like just pillars of strength. And to be able to lean in on them. And if you need to lean in on pillars of strength, those pillars are here for you as well. Amanda, please know that this community is sending so much love to all involved. Listening. Okay, any messages from my guides I should hear today? Much gratitude. That's from PG 2804. Um, I feel like I need to work on, digesting. I feel like I need to like, I just need to remind you that sometimes we need to take time to digest things. I also feel like I need to, have, a few extra quiet moments. I don't know if there's a lot of noise or a lot of chaos or if you have a lot on your plate, but I feel like I've gotta say, finding those moments where you can just simply pause, listen, what else do I hear? Whether it be a bird outside or what else do I know? Like, I feel like I just need to kind of give yourself some chance to digest some things. Kayla Megan 9141. Hi, Miss Lana. Any messages from me? Love you. I love you too, darling. Um, Kayla, are you okay? I feel like okay, so this is kind of interesting. I'm just gonna try and find the words to kind of translate it. Kayla, I feel it's not an exhaustion. It feels like a dehydration, but it's not a fluid thing, I don't think. It feels like when you're okay, so when you're dehydrated, you're missing fluids. But from a spiritual perspective, I feel like either I've got to inject more of or drink more of my spiritual I'll use my word spiritual self or spiritual practices because I feel like I'm depleting myself by giving to others. There we go. So I'm just curious, Kayla, on if you're having those moments that are just for you, where you're rehydrating spiritually, or perhaps there's a little bit of too much draining of your spiritual self. So when with those words, I'm just curious on how much protection, energetic protection or energetic refilling that you're able to insert and just kind of watch that this week if it's not resonating with you right now. I just feel like I'm dehydrated, like I almost feel like I need a spiritual IV. And I kind of chuckle, but with that, but I just feel like you can tap into what really resonates with you. You're a big giver of yourself to others, a huge giver of yourself. Hook up to a spiritual IV once in a while. That's an interesting way of putting it. Infusing what brings you joy, infusing, and I just feel like that energetic drain. So and keep an eye on your energetic drain. Laura, thank you so much for your response, Lana. It's very reassuring, and I also feel that you hit the nail on the head. Thank you. You are very welcome, Laura. Sometimes we just need a little bit of tapping in from what we already know, and that happens a lot here, you guys. Right? Like you guys will ask me something, I'll ask spirit, and you're like, "Yeah, that's what I was feeling." Yeah, just a little bit, but support, support in your own channeling and your own connection is great. Ember Moon 44. Thank you, Lana. I have a million ideas for my business but things really slowed down after Christmas. Some of that feels very normal, and some of that feels like an opportunity to kind of like allow those new ideas to birth themselves or to push us to kind of sit with those new ideas. My glasses, I got new glasses coming any day now. My glasses are a little bit crooked. What was I doing with my glasses? Uh, thank goodness, Kale. I have a message for me. Thank you, Lana from Spirit. Okay, Kelly, okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of reading that for a moment. I feel okay, so I feel like the overthinking part of you, the monkey brain part of you that's trying to get your attention, trying to get your attention. I feel like if there's any way that you can insert a moment where you can kind of step out of that there's something there about overthinking this week that I kind of need to be able to pause. In little things like I always do my best is good enough. Hocus pocus, change my focus. I think I'm gonna, sit that on the empty chair beside me. I feel like I just need a moment with the overthinking here. There's something with the monkey brain is kind of like causing a little bit of, and sometimes we all have a monkey brain. We all have a monkey in there. We all have the moments where we're overthinking, but I feel like sometimes that we can give too much power to that, and that's what I'm feeling here. So if you can get a moment where you can quiet that briefly, there's something there with clarity coming in. All right. Um, Songwolf. I'm waking up due to something pestering me when I try to sleep at night. Hmm. Um, I don't feel heavy with this at all. I feel so number one, um, I would take a moment before bed, and this is what I do, 'cause they have access to me all day, so they're not allowed to pester me at night unless it is extremely important. I would simply sit for a moment before bed and channel. Is there anything I need to hear? Is there anything I need to know? And and I also feel that this also feels more of an energy thing, energetically. So where we sleep is a very important space to have the energy kind of calm. We do a lot of processing in our bedrooms often before we go to sleep. So I would all if you can open a window, change the energy, charge, if you resonate with crystals, you might want to charge your, crystals or cleanse your crystals. But I would also ask, is there anything that I really need to know? Because it feels more of an energetic piece to me, if that makes sense there. Ooh, you guys, I have to watch the time, 9:05. Let's grab a few more. Um, ND Wayo living. Okay. Hello. I'm just very grateful sitting here in this community. I really wish everyone all the best and love. Oh, I love you guys so much. Shout out to a very special departed soul who opened me up to the universe of selfless love. That is what a beautiful, beautiful statement there that you made. And thank you for being part of our community. We're very grateful to have you here. Um, and our loved ones, our loved ones, um are always, and I know you guys know this, but I just feel like I really need to say it. They're always, always cheering for us. They're always part of the remainder of our physical world journey here. Um, and the more that we talk about them and to them, the more we feel, the more magic that does unravel. Okay, you guys. Surely, bless you, Lana. I felt very depressed lately. Would have been married close to 60 years together, 61. So please he's with me. Now, Shirley, I just want to talk a bit about this, okay? The relationship with our loved ones does not end, and I know you know this, does not end when they depart. The relationship continues. And I think that is the biggest thing that's, with all my channeling when it comes to the dead folk, that they make it very, very clear that they are very much here. The relationship does change because we're still in the physical and they are non-physical. So yes, there are big changes in that relationship. Um, we've been married close to 60 years. Yeah. I would really celebrate that. Really celebrate that. I did a really interesting reading last week with the remote viewing with, because there was, and it was a young passing, and those are extra heavy. And the remote viewing with the items that mom had in their home in honor of this person was mind blowing. And I couldn't believe, like, I'm going to say about 70% of the session was me walking around remotely, and this guy wasn't in their home. I was literally walking around, and I was describing certain things, and the deceased person wouldn't stop. He would not allow the session to go in I don't want to use the word usual, but in the traditional way of how I often work with spirit. So then I finally asked, the client. I said, like, he won't stop with walking me around your house. And she looked at me and she said, "This is what I needed to hear because I don't yet feel him." And the fact that you can walk around my house remotely and be able to describe things, she said that I really needed that because she wasn't feeling him yet. And that she it's not that he wasn't connecting with her, because they do. It's that, grief can sometimes hold us back from really feeling and connecting. And she's learning. She's a mom who's learning how to connect with her son on the other side. So, there's that aspect of it, but they are always, 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 always with us and cheering for us and helping us. Tabitha, thank you. Yes, I do need to slow down at times and not try to do too many things at once. Songwolf, well, I'm exhausted. Gonna nap while I have daylight. Less poking happens during the day. Um, Songwolf, I had to learn. Spirit used to wake me up quite often at night too, and I had to for that was them also teaching me boundaries. So I would really work on the boundaries. I'm here when I'm awake. guys, but when I'm sleeping, I would really I used to have a light switch on the wall. I drew it on a piece of paper, and that was my connection, and I made sure that it was off when I was trying to sleep. There may be something else that they're trying to teach you there because this feels more of a teaching perspective as well. Brad, there you are, darling. Hi, Lana. Been a while. Hope you are well, and congrats on your award. Thank you very much, darling. Thank you very much. It was a true honor to win the Canada Choice Award. Um, truly, it's so humbling. It's incredible. But thank you very much for the congratulations. Nothing I have or haven't done, just an uneasy feeling about job. Um, trust how you feel, Brad. So when I feel something with that's coming in with an uneasiness, um, I always acknowledge that this is my time to have this, kind of exit. I'm open to new doors of opportunity, and I would start visualizing new doors every time you open your fridge door or your car door or your house door. New doors of opportunities are always open for me. You can write that as a mantra on your phone. I'm open to new opportunities for me. There is no resistance. There is no resistance. All right, you guys, I'm a little bit over time. It's 9:10. It's 9:10. Let's grab an angel number book and see what we need from a message from our angels and spirit guides and source energy. 270. The universe is congratulating you on keeping the faith, which has caused your light and love to shine radiantly. Faith and hope is a big energy, and I think we all can resonate with that. We need that right now with keeping the faith, right? All right, spirit animal. Wow. You guys have to help me out now. Don't make me do all the work. I know there's still some messages here, you guys. I can't get to them all. I tried to hang in there as long as I could, but we got work to do with spirit today. All right. Oh, a koala bear. Watch your diet and make sure that it's primary that it sorry, watch your diet and make sure that it is primarily contains foods that are easily digestible, with a particular emphasis on green vegetables, herbs, and herbal supplements. Eat your greens. The next time you have a glass of water, before you drink it, say a prayer of gratitude for the gift of water that you're about to drink and include a prayer for all the waters of the earth. That's interesting. You need a relaxing retreat from daily life for a few days, so plan one soon and get away. That can also be moments matter, right? Moments matter. We can't be aware of your emotions, yet remain somewhat detached from them to help keep them contained. I'm not sure I agree with that. Practice a slow breathing meditation with music if you desire, twice a day for at least 10 minutes, and notice what it's like to be in deep relaxation. Explore your interest in shamanic arts practices, and if you're inspired to do so, learn how to do a shamanic journey. Shamanic journey is profound. Profound. I want to come back up to containing emotions. I'm not sure that that resonates with me. And again, things don't always have to resonate. I feel so. Let's come back up to be aware of your emotions. We talked about emotions earlier, yet remain somewhat detached from them and keep them contained. I'm not feeling that. That doesn't resonate with me. I feel like emotions should be acknowledged and flowed and allowed to process. But that's my personal opinion, and it's okay. And this is a perfect example. So this is a perfect example that not everything has to resonate. Um, in spirituality. You're perfect. That didn't resonate with me. If it resonates with you, then that's okay. But there are not everything that is in print or in black and white has to resonate with you. Not everything somebody is teaching in the spiritual community has to resonate with you, and it's okay. It's okay, right? To be able to say, yeah, that just doesn't feel right to me. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to comment on that. What do you guys think of that? Right, when are you guys good at saying, "You know what? I'll take what resonates and I'll leave the rest?" Because I think it's so important. I think it's so important. And sometimes the spiritual community, people mean well, but I think we can get too caught up on doing things a certain way or having, it just needs to flow with what resonates with you. And I think it's extremely important to always remember that. It's okay to say, I'm gonna leave that one there. Okay? Have a glorious week. Let's see what that groundhog does today. I don't think we're rounding the corner for spring, but that's my I'll tell you why I feel that, because when I was in the forest yesterday, there was some interesting energy there that I just felt like the forest needed to continue sleeping. Wesley, it sounds like a message to me. Perhaps it is, my friend. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided week. You guys, I'll see you next week.